I've got a rather nice Oukitel Y1000, but this one here is a ruggedized Oukitel phone, which is waterproof. And I thought perhaps for canoeing and other adventurous activities, in as much as I'm still able to do them, it might be a better bet. So first of all, here's the plug. Obviously in the UK we have these safe 3-pin plugs, and they're a bit more bulky, so they don't fit. That's the fun thing, isn't it? Opening the phone. And here we are. So this is the Y1000. It feels slightly more bulky than my Y4800, which is not to be surprised because it is, after all, a ruggedized phone. It's got a quad-core CPU, 5 and 8 megapixel camera, and a 3600 milliamp hour battery, which doesn't sound very much, but then as it's a slightly lower powered phone, it's probably adequate. Let's take the cover off the screen. It doesn't appear to come with a screen protector, but it looks just like a notch phone, and I think it's the same size as my Y4800. I think I've got a spare screen protector that will fit it. I'll obviously have to check before putting it on. So we've got buttons on the side here, and on the back is the fingerprint reader and the camera and the flash, and then there's a speaker here, which I think, is that protected by the case? I can't quite see. No, there is a hole through the case there, so presumably it's waterproof inside. The C-type, that's interesting because the flagship 4800 phone has a micro B. I think in some ways the micro B is a better format because it locks in, whereas the C-types can tend to fall out. But I'll get this one charged up overnight tonight and then see about putting it into action tomorrow. You get a SIM pin, of course, and you get a short manual. Okay. Oh yes, so you've got these ribs on the back of the case. It's quite a nice thing, really. United States. So I want to go to English, United Kingdom. Start. Connect to your mobile network. If you have SIM cards, insert them now. Well, I'll skip that for now, I think. Connect to Wi-Fi. So now it's searching for my house Wi-Fi network. And it's this one here. So it's just checking for updates now. So having a look around the edge of the phone, that's the cover for the SIM card and SIM tray, and that's the cover for the 3mm jack. So obviously you're not supposed to listen to music while you're dropping it in water. And when you pull the cover of the SIM card off, you see that the SIM tray is recessed. There's a little hook on the end of the SIM pin tool, which I didn't realise what it was for until I discovered you couldn't shake the tray out. So what you have to do is you have to use the little hook there to hook the tray out so that you can put the SIM and the TF card in it. It's a bit fiddly, but I managed it. So just getting the hook there and hooking the thing out, and you can see that there's a slot for a TF card or a SIM and a separate SIM slot. I think it's a bit poor really. My 4800, which is a much smaller phone than this, has got 3 slots, one for a TF card and 2 SIMs, but never mind, you've got the choice, and 32 gig of RAM is not too bad if you don't want to use a lot of apps and so on. It wasn't really good for me, of course. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the Android-y thing where you connect your 2 phones together and it copies everything across. And I then used the phone for a week, and I've got some photos and things that I took on it which I'd like to show you and talk a bit more about the phone. So here are some photos and so on that I took. I was trying to find something I could photograph in natural daylight, and the light wasn't terribly good, but I think you can see that the photographs are good enough for sort of happy snappies and recording stuff. If you want to take decent photographs, you either need a better quality phone or a proper camera, but this is reasonably adequate. And here's some filming. It's bright on this side of the street, turned it across to the other side, and look how quickly it just turns the brightness up to compensate. So that's reasonably good. That's a lovely car there. I'm very pleased I've got that. But that's an aside, of course. And now here's a photograph of some of the wildflowers in our front garden. There's a borage plant that's in flower and so on. The reason why I'm voicing over this lot is for some reason there was a lot of background noise on this video. I don't think it was anything to do with the phone. I think there really was a lot of background noise. So I decided I'd just do a quick voiceover of this bit. So not a marvellous phone, but perfectly adequate and more than adequate for a budget phone like this.